Welcome to Tech Talk, y'all.
Hi, and welcome to Tech Talk, y'all, episode 359. I'm Adam Walker.
And I'm Sanjay Parekh.
We've got a short Black Friday, quick-hitting episode for you today. One entertaining, weird, and wacky, and a tech wreck that I'm kind of excited about that's super simple and dumb and awesome. So let's get into it. You want to start us off?
Yeah, let's kick this off. Judge rules SiriusXM's annoying cancellation process is illegal. Thank God. Yes,
come on,
all
man.
of your bad cancellation processes, I think, hopefully soon are going to go away.
Yeah,
so
that's right.
This comes on the heels of I think it was the FTC that said, like, look, if it's easy to sign up, it's got to be easy to stop.
That's right. That's right.
Service.
Yep. That's right.
And SiriusXM, they were just keeping people on the phone and asking them more and more questions and keep pitching them. And I think the article said something like 5 different retention offers when you tried to quit their service. And so 5 different.
I mean, I get one. Like, do you want to stay and get 70% off for the next year? And you're like, for you. Nope. But
yeah,
5? Like,
I'm totally fine with one. Like, I get it.
Yeah.
But no, like, if somebody's wants to leave, you should not be eating up their time.
That's crazy.
To stop paying you. By the way, this is the reason why, like, these services that used to exist, like, I think Amex used to have this, and maybe Discover Card, where you could create dynamic credit card numbers tied to a service and then kill them off.
Yeah.
This reminds me of, I'm sure you've seen it, the Friends episode when Chandler and Ross are trying to quit the gym. And then they're trying to quit the bank after that. Right? And so this reminds me of that.
That's so good.
That's exactly
so
what
good.
this is.
Yeah, that's so good. All right. Next up. Blue Sky is on the verge of overtaking Threads in all the ways that matter. So I'll say this. I did sign up for Blue Sky.
I was going to ask you, like, that's a big question. Did you sign up? Okay.
I have not connected it directly to my .com, but my username is AdamJWalkerCom for now. So I'll connect it to my actual .com at some point too. It's okay. I mean, I think my problem is I don't really enjoy that type of social network as much as I enjoy videos or like quick images. And so like text only, scrolling through, reading it all, scanning it all. It's okay. It's fine. I
gotta say, I kind of like it. It reminds me of the Twitter of original.
Oh,
like
for sure.
How it was in the beginning. Yeah. But there's no ads. And now I've heard, like, on X, they're deprioritizing messages with links.
Oh, I'm sure.
They don't do that on Blue Sky.
Yeah.
So you get all the links and stuff, but they've done some interesting things. So they have a thing called starter packs. And I want to actually start a starter pack, but I don't have enough people there yet to actually start one yet. So I'd love to. So basically what a starter pack is somebody curates a list that you can then just immediately subscribe to. Yeah. And then all your following is, like, ready to go. And so I want to do one for Atlanta startup people. So if you're an Atlanta startup person, send me a message on Blue Sky and I'll kind of collect you and then eventually do a starter pack there. But what's interesting is Threads now is looking at developing a feature that's basically the same thing as starter packs. So they finally are now starting to see the pressure and feel the pressure because people are now defecting and going to Blue Sky.
Yeah.
It's like, oh, we need to innovate now. So this is a good thing, I think, that people are feeling that.
Yeah, I mean, it feels to me more and more like Blue Sky is on the rise for sure. So yeah, I mean, we'll see what happens.
Nothing but blue skies.
Nothing but blue skies. Yeah.
Something that's not a good Blue Sky thing that you want to go is a callback to a story that I think we did last week or maybe the week before.
So. Yeah.
Pokemon Go data, quote, adding amplitude to war is obviously an issue, unquote, Niantic exec says. So there's some discussion of your data from Pokemon Go now maybe being used by governments and militaries to wage war because now they have a complete view as to what the world looks like.
Oh, man.
Yes. This is why we can't have nice things.
Yeah, that's scary. Yeah, I mean, I bet like that. Like, I mean, think about the planning you can do. Like, like if you're doing urban warfare and every door to every building.
Yep.
Without you, like, you don't have to assume anything anymore. Like, not
even just the doors. Maybe the inside of the buildings because people have been snapping pictures of Pokemon inside.
The windows. You know what windows have views into what areas? I mean, like, wow. Oh my gosh. Yeah, I hadn't even really thought of it that way. That's terrifying.
Yeah. This adds a whole nother layer of stuff. Because up until now, it's been like satellite views that are maybe a couple hours to a couple of days to a couple of weeks old. And you know, they're just guessing as this. Yeah, no, none of that stuff anymore.
That's crazy.
Don't like this, really.
I don't like this. Microsoft says it built an Xbox game store on Android, but can't launch it. What are the details of this one? What's going on?
So there's a judge kind of did a pause on an order for Google to open up the Play Store and all that stuff.
Okay.
And Microsoft's saying that because of that order, they've built this thing, but they can't launch it until that deal kind of gets resolved.
Okay. Gotcha.
But then a lot of people are pointing out the fact that Epic has done this by launching their own APK, and then they're basically kind of sideloading in the application, and then you can do all this stuff.
Right.
But I guess Microsoft just doesn't want to do it that way or something. Okay. I don't know. It's not very clear, but I think the broader story is that, look, there's a bigger Xbox store that's going to be coming to Android.
Yeah.
And so you'll be able to play more Xbox games directly on your Android. Kind of more broadly, this is an interesting story to me because of what it kind of continues to tell the story of Microsoft, right? Like Microsoft used to be this company, and maybe it'll become this company again, that was very closed, like, hey, we've got to control these things, and it's only our Xbox thing. And now things have really kind of opened up. Like, you know what? We don't really care about the OS anymore. You can run some of our stuff on Linux. Hey, you know what? Our Xbox games, we don't really care about the hardware platform anymore. You can run it on Android. Like this very different view. And I think it's a very accepting view of all the different kind of platforms and things out there. And I think that says good things about them in the future. Not to say that I'm a fan of all their stuff. Like I hate Microsoft Teams with a passion. It is an awful
I hate all of Microsoft Office, all of it, every bit of it. I hate all of it. So
I don't mind. Like I like Excel. I think it works really well. I like sometimes Excel more than I do like Google Sheets or something like that.
Shut your mouth.
Just because I'm just saying it's sometimes faster and it's easier to deal with. But
all right, that's fine.
I can see a lot of people don't like some of those applications.
Yeah, for sure.
But I will say they run in the browser now too, like their whole Office suite.
Yeah, they do. Yeah,
and
which
so
is nice.
I kind of like that as well. It's
I end up running into the browser more than anything else, and actually through Dropbox. I run it in the browser through Dropbox, which is
great. I mean, again, that's an embrace that they never had before. They were all about, no, we're going to sell you the software for Office.
Yeah,
that's
and now
it's like, we can run on the web.
It's all good. It's all good. Yeah. Speaking of other things companies don't like, Nintendo files court documents to target 200,000 member subreddit Switch Pirates. So apparently, this is a subreddit dedicated to hacking your Nintendo Switch and customizing it. And obviously, Nintendo does not like that. And they're going after like more game emulators and things like that to try to, kind of do the opposite of what we're talking about with Microsoft in a sense, right? And they're going after this particular subreddit, which it's kind of fascinating to go after a subreddit specifically, right? Like that's right. Like that seems strange to me to do that.
Yeah, especially this big.
Yeah.
I mean, these are people that are fans of your hardware and your products.
Yeah.
And they buy your products and you're going to go after, I don't know. Yeah. This just feels
like a crazy idea.
Poorly managed, poorly placed, poorly executed.
I mean, these are like your super fans, really, kind of, if you think about it. Like if they're modding the Switch, these are like your super fans. And then it's like, no, we can't have that. You got to go. Like,
this goes back to the, what is it? The Millennial Copyright Act or whatever it was called, where, they could lock things down. That's what got us the whole John Deere being able to lock down their tractors and all of this stuff. All of it's interrelated. It was bad legislation from the get-go.
Yep.
And so it has caused things like this and just don't love it. Don't love it. But somebody else does love one thing over another. Instead of AirPods, I'd recommend, this is the author of this article, Meta Ray-Bans as the best tech deal of Black Friday 2024. Are you going to get Meta Ray-Bans, by the way?
I tagged this for one specific reason. Okay. Number one, you can get the Meta Ray-Bans today on Black Friday for like literally half off. It's like $150 after all the credits and stuff. Right. So that's amazing. The second reason is Mickey, our buddy Mickey, has been trying to talk me into buying Meta Ray-Bans specifically because I create a lot of like first person video content. Right. And his argument is like, you wouldn't even have to pull out your phone to create the content. Like you could just video directly and like keep going.
Just looking at stuff.
Yeah.
Not
and like,
hold
and
anything.
Like, yeah. And like, that's totally true. But I still don't know. I still like, I don't know. It's Meta and it's a phone on my, it's a camera on my face and it's only like a 6 hour, maybe 10 hour battery life. I just, I don't know how I feel about it. So so I wanted to get your opinion. Like, what are your thoughts?
I can see there's one use case that, is relevant to us here in Atlanta that this would be useful for. So probably a couple of months ago, I saw John Cena, the actor and former World Wrestling guy, here walking around in Atlanta.
Right.
I was at a coffee shop. He was actually going with his wife to that same coffee shop.
Right.
And he's trying to be like under the radar, which I get. Like, didn't bother him. Like me and the guy that I was with, we noticed him, but we're not gonna make a big deal out of it. He's trying to be a regular dude. But later on, I saw somebody like video him at that place. But I think that what they did is with their phone in their hand and they just kind of walked by type of thing. Yeah,
just like kind of casually. I happen to be holding my phone at this awkward angle walking by. Yeah.
Right. Exactly.
Yeah.
And so I think in those situations of celebrity spotting, having a camera on your face would be useful because then you could just look at them and,
I do kind of like the idea, like Mickey's argument is like, look, get transition lenses in it. So they're sunglasses and glasses, right?
And you can do that?
Yeah. And then like you have, you're able to video at any time, like just with the tap of a thing on the glasses frame.
Yeah.
I'm like, okay, yeah, maybe I could see that. So I'm still contemplating it. But I don't know. I don't know if I want to do that.
It's got an AI assistant, or I guess it connects to your phone for the AI assistant too.
Yes, that's right.
Like, I could see that if you were out and about a lot, if you traveled a lot into other cities.
Oh yeah, for sure.
And needed help getting around. Because right now, like a lot of times, even here in Atlanta, I'll use my watch and my phone for walking directions.
Yeah.
And then I can just look at my watch to tell me where to go.
Right.
But having it actually on my face and not having to look at my watch makes you even look like less of a tourist.
Yeah, that's true.
At that point. So
yeah.
That could be good in some areas.
And I mean, it does have headphones. I mean, by headphones, I mean, it directly pushes music into your ear.
Right.
Which is also kind of cool. So, So, I mean, I like the idea of it a lot. I'm still not sure I can pull that trigger. So.
And I guess with the audio that it sends into your ear, then because it's not plugging up your ears, you can still hear everything around you as well, right? So
yeah, that's right. Yeah.
So it doesn't kind of isolate you from the world. I kind of like that, but I don't know.
It's tempting. The deal is good through until tomorrow. So it's like 20% off on Amazon right now. It's just for their like original frames, and then you get like a $90 credit on Amazon towards Black Friday deals. So I'd have to find $90 worth of other stuff that I want to buy too, which probably would not be that hard.
I think the thing that holds me back is the fact that the first part of it, Meta.
Yeah, that's the hard part to me too. It's like
if it was like just generic Ray-Bans that I could use with any platform that I wanted to, and I could set it up. Yeah, I think it'd be a no-brainer.
I will say you do not have to tie them to your Facebook account. You do have to connect to a Meta account, but it does not have to connect to Facebook directly, which is interesting. So, I'm still thinking about it. I kind of figured you were going to come out really strong on the privacy side. Like, no way, don't do it. Camera on your face is a terrible idea. But I don't
like that. So I don't like it, but I think the fact of the matter is that there is so much surveillance anyways already.
So much.
So maybe the thing to do here is create a new throwaway Meta account if that's a thing. True. If you can do that and attach those to this, so that.
Wait, sorry. One other note is apparently the camera on them is 12 megapixel. It's about the equivalent of like an iPhone 12 camera. So it's like not as good as like current phone cameras, but it's still not bad to to the average viewer. So I don't know. Yeah. We'll see what happens. So all right. Last up before Weird and Wacky, Meta plans to build a $10 billion subsea cable spanning the world. Sources say, why would they do this?
Because they want to better control their own content and making sure that it gets delivered. So the path right now that they're showing proposed would be from the east coast of the U.S. to India, from India to Australia, Australia to the west coast of the U.S. I believe is kind of the path.
Wow.
So those are kind of the jumping off points. So what's interesting is kind of, and we haven't talked about this other story, but there has been a lot of kind of issues around undersea cables lately. Most recently, in the last couple of months, a Chinese vessel dragged their anchor 100 miles to destroy a bunch of cables is what has been kind of posited. And so it seems like there is a lot of kind of work being done to disrupt access and things like that. There's been stories of the Russians destroying cables, undersea cables as well in the past. And so it's interesting that they're going into this space, but I think it's also a competitive thing because Google has laid a lot of fiber and controls a lot of fiber in undersea cables as well. And so this is like, look, you don't want to get phased out, as well as, there's been these threats of, look, you guys need to pay more for your bandwidth consumption because you're creating all this. And that's honestly not how the internet works. But this is probably like a safety valve for them of like, okay, fine. We'll just run it on our own cables then, and we won't use you.
Okay. Interesting. Good. I mean, hey, go for it, man. If you want to spend the money, do it.
Time for the Weird and Wacky segment.
Abominable snowman.
He's not an axe murderer. One of the TAs turned out to be a bot.
All right, we got one article for you for Weird and Wacky, and my issue is I don't understand how this dude has time. Elon Musk apparently just became the #1 Diablo 4 player in the world. So, all right, dude has, I think does he have like 11 kids? Is that right? I think he has 11 kids.
It's, and across like, I don't know how many women.
Well, I wasn't even concerned about that, but the 11 kids, he's got like, 3 companies, 4 companies? Like he's running a bunch of companies, and he's somehow has time to put in enough hours playing a video game to be the best in the world at.
Yeah, well, doesn't make there's any sense. There's an asterisk to all this. So he did this apparently when there was a bug in the software, which has now been patched. So it's theorized that that's how he was able to do this feat. Because there's other people that actually, so his is at a sub 2-minute time, I believe, his run in this. And there are other people that when that same bug was still prevalent, they could actually do it in less than 90 seconds. So less than a minute and a half.
Okay.
And so I don't know that this is an accurate reflection of actually his skill.
Okay.
But also there's been a lot of theories about, is he paying other people to grind out the time for him to make his character better? Maybe he's playing some, but not completely all
maybe so.
of that time either. So look, when you have basically unlimited money, you can do dumb, but also why this? Like it's the weirdest thing. I guess maybe he realized like, oh, I can't really compete against Zuckerberg in a cage match, which by the way has never happened.
I know. I've been waiting. I've been waiting
to watch that. I'm ready with my $3.
It would probably go down just like the Mike Tyson Jake Paul match where they're like pulling punches and not really hitting each other and it's all fake. That's probably
I don't know. I don't think Zuckerberg would have agreed to that. I think he would have been like, I'm all in.
That's true. Zuckerberg would go all in. I do agree. Yeah,
his camp would have been like, no, there's no rules. Yeah. No, this doesn't have to go whatever.
Yeah,
like, they don't care about the pay. He doesn't care about the payout.
Yeah, that's true.
He's not going to pull punches and make sure it goes 7 rounds. Zuckerberg, like what's $20 million to him or $40 million to him?
It's literally a drop in the bucket. Not even that. Not even a drop in the bucket. It's not even
exactly.
It's nothing. It's nothing. That's what it is.
Yeah. So I think once that whole thing imploded, he was like, okay, what's the thing that I could do that I might actually be able to succeed at?
All right.
Because everything else he's touched has not gone as well.
It's been interesting.
I mean, some things have gone okay for now.
For the moment.
We'll see how
he did catch that rocket. Just saying.
Once. Not the second time.
Tech wreck. Time to get your tech wreck.
Tech wreck. Chicky.
Tech wreck. Time to get your tech wreck.
Okay, Adam, it is tech wreck time. What do you have for us this week? You were excited about this at the beginning of the show.
This is a stupid tech wreck, but it's great. So I've got the Elgato teleprompter, and the problem with the teleprompter is when the teleprompter is turned on, it messes with my display settings in a way that won't allow me to like watch a video on, say, Netflix. The video won't work. But if I unplug the teleprompter, the video plays just fine. And so what I was doing was like unplugging, plugging back in, unplugging, plugging back in. So I got this USB switch extension cable. And so it's a USB extension, and it has a switch on it. And when I'm done with the teleprompter, I just flip the switch and it powers off the teleprompter, and then everything works just fine. And then when I want to use the teleprompter, I flip the switch and it turns it right back on. So it's been great. It's really been helpful. So it's dumb, it's cheap, but it works really well if you need to unplug and plug a USB without unplugging and plugging the USB constantly. So
by the way, I think that whole issue that you're having there, if I'm guessing right, is related to DRM. Yeah. And the fact that Netflix thinks you're trying to steal the video through a USB-based video adapter.
Yeah,
and because of that, it's not letting you watch it because it can't control the.
Yeah, and I have that problem with like Netflix and Mac, like most all streaming platforms have the problem.
Yeah,
but not YouTube. Like YouTube will let me watch just fine with it plugged in. So like YouTube doesn't care. It's wild to me. So I'm just like, well, I'll turn it off.
So that is completely all DRM because you're having it across all the streaming platforms.
Yeah.
And that is annoying as all.
Yeah, but this is an easy fix, right? Like it's a quick easy fix. Like boom, done.
But it's annoying that you have to do the easy fix in the first place.
Yeah, well, Yeah. I got lots more coming your way though. Like I got like tech breaks for the next like 6 weeks are going to be great from me. I've got stuff I'm excited about. So it's going to be great. All right, Sanjay, what do you have for us this week?
So I stumbled onto a little game. There's a service, engine.is. They're like startup kind of policy and things like that. They've got a game called Startup Trail. So if you remember the old, what is it, Oregon Trail?
Oregon Trail, yeah.
Right, yeah. When you're like the person, this is basically that, but you're the founder of a startup. And you have to make choices kind of going through. Gosh. And it's pretty well done. I ran through it and I was like, yeah, there's like different things you have to, do you want to do this or do you want to sue the patent troll or do you want to just pay them off? Like there's all of these choices kind of going through.
Yeah.
And it's pretty well done. And I think it's a fun little game that you could just play there. And, if you are a founder, it'll be a little bit cathartic. If you're not a startup founder, you might get a little view and glimpse into what startup founders deal with when they're trying to start their company. So give it a try out, Startup Trail.
All right. I'll check it out. All right, Sanjay, how can our listeners find and connect with you?
They can find me at sanjaypark.com, which is also my username on Blue Sky. What about you, Adam?
AdamJWalker.com, which is almost my username on Blue Sky, where I'm still not posting anything. But go follow me anyway. It's going to be great. So, you can find
it's a simple DNS setting. You can do it. It's easy.
I can't. I can't. I just haven't taken the time. That's the thing. Like, I know I can. I'm lazy. All right.
Dun, dun, dun.